Welcome back everyone! With the opening of the Windermere Resort going very well, we can now turn back to the park where the new area designed by Cockwaddle is finally complete. With the continued success of the first two areas to the park, it is important for us at Winderland to continue improving and adding. Cockwaddle Enterprises have been hard at work building an immersive new themed area for the park, and it looks fantastic. The new area, Rome, features 4 new rides and beautiful vistas of the falls and the lake. Let's take a look.
Well, there we have it. The Waddle himself. Are you there, Mr. Waddle, by the way? It'd be lovely to hear.
Of course. I didn't jump in. I didn't know if you wanted to like introduce me or whatever. Hello, I'm here. Hello.
There he is. You need no introduction, sir. You need no introduction. We all know you. Anyway, first off, before we start looking around the park, how did you find this build?
Better than I expected. I was a little bit worried at first. Yeah, as I was saying, like I found this a bit easier than I expected. Like certainly in the first couple of days, I was a little anxious about just getting it all spaced out and filled out in time, especially with some more complex buildings that I wanted to have. But it ended up being a bit of a cruise towards the end. The good thing about that is that you start really enjoying it.
And obviously with this community challenge, I never wanted it to be too stressful. That's why I've tried my best. I've thought, what can you feasibly do in a 2-week period without too much stress? And I think 4 or 5 rides in a little area like that, 10k limit, it's not too much. It's not too stressful. I mean, you could get yourself in a proper to-do about it, but obviously you went in with an idea. I think you told me like weeks before, oh yeah, I know what the theme is, it's already sorted, we're doing this, we're going. So you knew what you were doing straight in, didn't you? Which was obviously a bonus. Anyway, so let's have a look around. This is obviously one of 2 entrances to your area, and I love this arch. What's the inspiration behind this arch? Obviously you know a lot about Roman architecture. I assume this.
Yeah, so that's what's called a triumphal arch, and the purpose of them is to welcome either an emperor or a successful general on the way back from battle, and they would build these arches out of marble, essentially just for one parade, but then they would stay for all time, you know, as a means of like memorializing a victory. So, yeah, I thought that'd be an ideal way of introducing guests to the theme.
And is this TMTK? I assume all these nice little Roman busts and things you've used.
Only that bust, yeah.
Only that bust. The rest is in game. Oh, yeah, that's temple. Isn't
it?
Wait,
no, the column capitals are TMTK. They're very similar to the ones that are in game, but they're circular rather than square.
That's beautiful. It's definitely a statement, isn't it? Nobody can possibly get this area confused as they walk in. Rome. Arch! No, I love it. It's beautiful. We'll come back later because I want to have a look at. I know you've got some wonderful night views. I've got you on pause. I've got the game on pause at the moment. Let's have them walking around. So the first thing we get as we come into this area is this nice little plaza. And you were quite proud. You were quite proud of this building, if I remember correctly. I didn't get a chance to see as much of your build as I wanted because obviously I was on my honeymoon. But the times I turned up, you were like, "Oh, look at this building I've just built." So yeah, this is pretty sick. This I love all the arches. Again, that's quite in with Roman architecture, I suppose.
It is. They were very proud of their arches because it showed that they had like proper engineers for their buildings. And arches are tricky to make, so they showed them off at every opportunity. And that is based on a real building called the Basilica Julia in Rome, and it's even bigger than that in real life and has like way more arches. It's just completely covered in arches. It's just like an arch show-off event. So I thought that'd be quite a nice one to use. I ended up using it as like toilets and information, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's exactly where we need it as well. The information, toilets as you first come into the area. And then you've got on the side of it the Tiberius Grotto, which should we look at that later? Because I think that's like kind of
exactly. That's kind of the piece de resistance, so to speak.
But these gardens, You put a lot of effort into the scenery. This is the kind of stuff when I'm building, I just completely fall to pieces on, is foliage and how to make it look realistic rather than just spamming. Well, like you saw in my Sonic part, just spamming one tree and one bush over and over again. You got a really nice bit of.
But you spammed Scavola though. That's the best one, so it makes sense.
Like these, what are they? Blue, like these roses, are they?
Yeah, I just use roses and just recolor them. It's like the best plant to use because you can make it look like pretty much anything. I'm a big fan.
And the cypress trees, which fit right in with the area, what we expect.
Yes,
and
indeed.
then in the background, this beautiful theatre.
Oh, is that right? Oh, is that what it's called? Oh, I was a bit confused on that. Oh, theatre, right.
Yeah.
Well, it's your stream, so you must be right. All right, I guess it's a big theatre.
And you've got how many rides did I give you in the end? It was just 2, wasn't it? So you've got them right here, two flats, and then we got the track and the coaster. I love the way that the chair swing fits beautifully into the middle of this. And this is
it's very very like that.
This is just a trick that took me about 8 years to understand, but making circles on Planko, and it's actually deceptively easy, isn't it, making a circle on Planko? But I was like, when I saw buildings like this, I thought, how the hell do people make it? But now, after Reddy showed me and spinning on an axis, this is brilliant.
Yeah, it's deceptively easy. I mean, like, if you're doing smaller shapes with like round edges, then it gets really difficult. But if you're making one big circle, it's not too big of an issue. But I was happy with that because, I mean, as you say, it's an efficient method, and we got all of that building done in about 40 minutes. So yeah, happy with that.
That was on your first stream as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, first thing I did. I knew that'd be like the big landmark of the park, so I thought I'd slap that down first.
Oh. It works really nicely though. It's fantastic. So let's have a look down here. Colosseum.
I just called it that as a joke because if we're calling all amphitheatres Colosseums, as everyone else seems to, I was like, you know what? The ride's called Colosseum. You guys win. I don't care anymore.
And this is all inside. Nicely themed little queue area. Got some lights going on, and we're in. Oh yes. It works. And at night, this is beautiful with those torches. I haven't seen the back end of this. It comes out into the station area.
Exactly, it goes up to the train station exit, so it'll be sort of one-way traffic on that part of the park, so I'm quite happy with that.
But I love the integration you've done with all the different buildings, and obviously is that the guests don't walk through any of the buildings, so how have you managed that? You must have like a really cool path system going on under here.
Yeah, to be honest, you're not quite right though, because there are other pillars that they do walk through. I did my best. It's like, instead of using big sections of path, I actually use quite narrow ones that sort of wind through. But yeah, exactly. So they will sometimes walk through a pillar, but I think I've got it mostly right.
I think it's beautiful. It works really well. And you wanted like a market, like a proper Roman street, didn't you, coming down here? Which I think...
Yeah, I wanted it nice and dense and sort of all like packed in together. So I shoved all the buildings really, really close together. Limit the view lines, the skyline and stuff. And yeah, happy with it. That was to be honest the most stressful bit, was doing all of these like regular street buildings. It's something I struggle with anyway, but to get that done in time, and I knew that I wanted like each one to look different. So that's tricky.
Yeah. But this is one of the toughest parts of the game. Like, you get your ride down, you get your skin on it, you get your paths where you want, and then it's the filler, isn't it? The stuff that goes in between. But this is really nice and realistic. It's what you'd expect. I mean, that Colosseum, big imposing Colosseum on the right hand side, or theatre, or whatever you want to call it, and then the buildings being dwarfed underneath around it. But that's exactly what it would have been like in Rome. Because there was no...
Definitely.
It wasn't like Wembley where they built like big plazas outside these arenas. The arenas were just in the centre of a town, weren't they? With all stuff built up against it and around it. And obviously it had the drop tower here.
Yeah, I thought, to be honest, the drop tower was, as it always is in my parks, the bit I was like the least enthusiastic about. I knew I just wanted to plop it down, but because they are actually quite hard to theme, drop towers, I wanted it to be kind of reminiscent of like Trajan's column, but how would I do that? I'd have to like build directly around the shaft of it. But actually, when you look at drop towers in real life, they're never done like that because
No.
the whole idea is to give the guests who are on the ride a view of everywhere around them. So at the end of the day, you actually do kind of have to just plop it down and maybe put a few things around the base of it. But I couldn't go too crazy.
It is a tough one. It is a tough one because, yeah, it's a very small little ride and you think, oh, yeah, that'll be perfect. I can stick that in there. But then what else can you do with it? Because, as you said, you build it inside a building, then the people on the ride are just going to see a wall flashing past them.
Yes, exactly.
I like
Exactly,
I like the columns all around it, though. These are beautiful.
Yeah, I thought that just gave an impression of sort of verticality around it. Those ones with the angels on top of it are based on real ones that stood in the Forum in Rome at the time.
I've been to
So
the
I
Forum.
thought they,
It's lovely. Very
it's
pretty.
beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. Love the Forum. So yeah, that was a little bit of sort of real life that I put in there. Those two winged victories on columns.
It's beautiful, though. It all works really well. You can't mistake this for being anything else than Roman, can you? I love it. I love it. And then obviously you had quite a lot of shops I gave you. So you got your balloons in here.
Mhm.
We've got no staff. It's pretty standard for this game. That I don't want to go near yet, do I? That's the exit.
No, that's your exit. Yeah.
I did love this though. I did love this a lot. This, like, you've almost got like this, what, aqueduct, viaduct, whatever they wanted to make it. And then you got all the buildings up around it.
Yeah, that specific arched thing, I'm not even sure what it's really meant to be. It's based on a little piece of the set of the TV show Rome that I know you and I have both seen.
Wonderful movie. Programming.
Really, really incredible TV show. But yeah, so I don't actually know what the intention for it would have been. It might have just been a sort of supporting structure for the buildings on either side. I don't know, but yeah, I thought it looked quite nice. Little entrance to that little courtyard where they can sit down and eat and all that.
Through here, this was one of my... I had a quick look around the park, and I think this is one of my favourite little areas here. Hold on. Let's go up. Just this little secluded area for having a little bit of eaties and drinkies away from the hubbub of the street. It works really nicely. And then obviously you've got the
Al fresco, isn't it? You know,
yeah,
proper Italian eating.
You come through all of that into this big open plaza, and look at that. What a stunning building. Is that like your take on the Parthenon, or is there a specific temple you had in mind?
It's based on, like, I mean, they had a lot of these. I mean, I kind of based it on your standard Temple of Jupiter, which, I mean, look, there will have been 40, 50 temples of Jupiter around the empire, but again, I did actually use the set of Rome of the TV show again to get some inspiration, mostly for colours. And like the colours that always kept coming back were that sort of off-white and the red, so I ended up using it all over the park just to keep it consistent. But that deep red is always like a colour associated with Jupiter, so I thought that'd be quite good.
And I don't know if it's accurate with the TV program Rome, but there was a lot of red in that, wasn't there? I assume...
Yeah, really, really important colour of the Empire. So they stuck it on a hell of a lot of things. It symbolises strength, you know, like might. So I thought I'd use that in massive amounts.
It's good. I've just seen that little rooftop terrace.
Little roof garden, yeah.
That's beautiful. Oh, and there's a trap.
I sort of took that from I actually took that from my Ancient World park. I had something similar to that on one of the roofs. I thought, that works quite well.
It's gorgeous. I haven't looked at the top of the building. That's really nice. Again, very much like what you would see in these, because they don't build like the British in standard squares and things. They just piece it all together, push buildings on top of each other, and have these random little balconies on a lot of the buildings. In like
every building, it has extensions upon extensions upon extensions. You know, so that's what you want a Roman city to look like. It's hodgepodge, you know.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, really, really nice. What's that in there? Is that the staff building? I wondered where you'd stuck that. Hadn't found it. Oh, sorry. Let's go back to what we were looking at.
That's all right.
What's Saturnalia then? Is that a Saturn?
So
Obviously,
yeah, it's a religious festival. I can't actually remember what they would like do. I think it was basically meant to be you eat and drink yourself stupid.
oh, fair enough.
How that plays into a wild mouse ride, I don't really know, but it seemed like a cool enough name. So
Well, you were
yeah.
you were dealt a bit of a hand here, weren't you? I didn't really give when I picked out the coasters and then sent it out to chat. I mean, you did get to pick your coaster in the end out of 2, but which is what a lot of other people haven't. But the Wild Mouse coaster isn't exactly fun to build with. Isn't ever going to get you the most wonderful ride experience because they are horrid at the best of times. So you had a bit of a tough hand here. But what I do like.
Yeah,
with
okay.
it- what? Carry on.
I was going to say, I mean, I thought that at first. I thought, oh, that's like one of the worst coaster types to get. But actually, to be honest, the good thing about it, as unpleasant as it is to do a POV of, the fact that they have to be compact and not have huge like lift hills and drops and all that, did actually kind of end up helping me in the end, because it meant that I could create the whole coaster in that area that you're circling as like one set piece. Whereas I think now, like if I was actually handed like a Woody to build with, I think I don't actually feel confident doing all that in that space. Do you know what I mean? I guess what I'm really saying is I don't think I can fit my enormous Woody in your park.
But anyway, let's try a little POV of it. Let's close it. Get all these blasted guests off. Go on, bugger off. Get out of my coaster. We're having a VIP ride.
Nice.
I haven't looked at the inside of this building yet. I always struggle to look at the ceiling of these things.
Do you like those mosaic walls?
They're gorgeous. Are they a certain person we knows? You did have a bit of fun with them, didn't you? Are they not quite 4 meters or something?
They have the wrong. They're uneven. They're not the same on both sides. The left side of it has 2 red squares, whereas the right only has 1.
Oh god, yeah, I've just noticed.
Yeah.
They throw you off when you're trying to build. What kind of idiot would build something like that?
Deary me.
So, pause. Anyone who suffers from any ailments, just be wary. This will be quick. But as
you have heart issues.
yeah, wild mouses are meant to be quick at the end of the day. So this is this would be right in with it. I mean, if anyone's been to like Chesington and been on that rattlesnake, it's one of the only wild mouses I've ever been on, and it's hell. It's a hell of a ride. I like that little drop.
They don't look nice.
Whee! Oh, pulling some speed into that one. Oh, great bit of airtime over the top of that.
Whoosh.
Whoop.
Yeah, some pretty painful bits.
Nah, it's good, man. That would be fun. That's the fun of a wild mouse. You're meant to come off of it with bruises, you know.
True.
Oh, I love this underground bit. That works really nicely. That's not as bad as you're making out, mate. That's really quite smooth.
Yeah, to be fair, this is a little better than I remember, actually.
That's a bloody good coaster.
Yeah, quite happy with that.
It's very good. Let's check this out, see if you've got any lights, because I noticed in that cave area there was some torches and stuff. I think that'd be wicked to go through in the dark. Have another go round. I don't know if I put it back on. I did.
Yes. Now that I see it, I definitely should have lit the actual station a bit better.
Nah, it's got enough light inside there. It's kind of dim and ominous, which is nice. You don't want it like bright.
I suppose not. Yeah.
And remember, the Romans, they did everything by candlelight, didn't they? So every room that you would
Very
have
true.
gone into would have been dark,
Would have been dim.
dim.
Also, good evening, Pi. Lovely to see you.
Hey, Pi. I think this coaster's great, mate. The only place where I would have felt like, oh my god, is this. There. Oh! That little
Yeah.
jump. But
Yeah,
again, it's fun.
It's pretty rough.
To have shocking behaviour, you would need a power source, Shane.
So true. So true.
Hey,
Shane.
Jackson, welcome in. Whee! I love that cave.
Jason's been here the whole time, just so you know.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Like, since the
Jason.
start.
Sorry, Jason.
But Tailsy, I think Tailsy has just got here.
Hey, Tails! Welcome in. Sorry, this is me just being useless with chat as usual. Don't worry, nothing new
Good.
there.
Well, you've got me here to be the professional, so
Yeah,
it's
there
all
you go. So there's a few little bits left to look at. You obviously, you got another little plaza down here. Oh, that's nice with a Mexcellente on it.
Yeah, happy with
Ooh,
that.
and some backstaging. Something that I need to be adding in the next couple of weeks. I've got a lot of backstaging to do. So thank you for that.
That's all right.
Right. So let's just have another look at the rest of the your build. This is obviously the other entrance, which is, as we've already said, is like a faux entrance. It's not really ever going to be used. But I did figure when you got a hotel, you want your hotel guests to be able to get into the park, and that is quite impressive. The entrance there, going over the train
quite happy
station.
with that. I liked that it was it had some verticality compared to the other one. You know, you get the full skyline and of like seeing the tops of things rather than sort of looking up and like craning your neck up and everything. So I thought that looked quite nice.
So you had the train station to build in. It was already kind of semi-built in for you, but you had the problem of working out where to put the queues and everything. I love this queue.
Yeah, I just kept it quite simple. I think I was originally gonna add a bit of some sort of light roofing over that to give them a bit of shade, but then I realised, well, actually the trees already supply a bit of shade, and I didn't want to disrupt the view of the temple if they're walking over from the hotel. I figured that would, like, if I'd added a roof onto that queue, it would have got in the way. So yeah, I just kept it simple.
That temple is just absolutely stunning. Who's on the top of it? Is that Mr. Waddle looking over everybody, or is that Caesar, Julius?
I would love to think so. I believe that looks like Hadrian to me.
Hadrian.
Yeah, it looks like Emperor Hadrian. Yeah.
It's such a wonderful building, that temple.
Oh, I love it, mate. Cheers.
I love it. Right, anyway, this is stunning. I want to have a look at this at night. Oh no, we've missed something, haven't we? We've missed, like, the piece de resistance.
The biggest thing, yeah.
Yeah, this was kind of like the main goal for this area. We wanted an in-housed water dark ride, and now we're coming back here to the beginning and looking at Tiberius's grotto. So tell us a bit about this, because there's a story behind this. You were telling me that didn't Tiberius have like some secret crazy grotto somewhere on one of...
Yeah, exactly. I kind of merged two ideas that I had about this because I wanted to make it quite scary. It's a dark ride. I wanted it to be a bit spooky, a bit atmospheric. So I've sort of crammed two ideas into one. One is that, yeah, there's a place called Spelonga in Italy where Tiberius had one of his... He was a crazy villa guy. He wanted so many imperial villas, and he had a particular one in Spelonga where he had built his dining room into a natural cave. And he'd used the sort of atmosphere, the spooky lighting, the sound of water and stuff to make this sort of ominous kind of temple space, but part dining room that he could bring, you know, guests to impress, and they would maybe do some spooky rituals or whatever, you know, things like that. And I sort of combined that with the idea of a temple of Mithra. I don't know if you've ever heard of like a Mithraeum, you know, which just means a temple to Mithra. There's one in London that you might have been to.
Probably. But...
Yeah, there's the ruins of one underneath a bank in London.
All right.
And the cult of Mithra, it came from Persia, and it involved these sort of clandestine male-only meetings in these secret dark places. And at the end of the day, we just don't know a lot about it, but it lends itself quite a lot to beliefs in the occult.
Yeah,
so
right.
I thought I'd just cram those two ideas together. So it's inspired by Tiberius' Grotto, but with a lot of the cult of Mithra crammed into it.
Okay. Well, I think we need to have a look inside. I think we definitely have to need to...
Please do.
And this was a struggle, wasn't it? Because the mountain is quite low.
Yeah.
So you were struggling with light, weren't you? at one
Yeah,
point.
a lot of the time with no, I mean, look, I generally struggle with interiors in general, especially I get antsy when
It's just
obviously
stunning.
there is a limited height that you can do in here because you don't want to break the top of the mountain. So
Mm.
it was tricky. But yeah, the lighting ended up being quite good. I just sort of committed to that sort of spooky, icy blue kind of color along with some torchlight, and I think it's quite effective.
I think it's stunning, mate. Just those statues as you walk in are absolutely incredible. So imposing.
Yeah,
You're
scary,
walking
right?
in.
And like,
You're walking into this building. You know you're in for something fun. You know.
you look like you're being judged, by these two.
Yeah. It's like what's it? Never ending story when you walk through there
Yes,
and they
exactly.
shoot down the fiery lasers at you because you're not
Yeah,
worthy.
exactly.
I love it. There's so much stuff to look at as you walk through.
Yeah, I wanted a fair bit of like natural rocks and waterfalls and all that, but also with some sort of ritual sites.
So let's carry on. Oh yeah, I see your offerings now. Little sword,
Yeah,
some books.
there you go.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I love this. It's so immersive. Really, really good queue, and it's open, and it's actually deceivingly there's not a lot going on with the queue, is there? But because there's no cover, you haven't built anything in, but it just works. It works really nicely. The chandeliers and all of the torches giving off light. It's wicked, mate.
Yeah, happy with it. Really happy with it.
Look at that behind the station, and that's all built in.
Yeah.
The rapids go along there, don't they? So you've got lovely
Exactly.
interaction.
Yeah, really, really happy with how that came out.
I love it. Who's that up there?
So that, to be honest, this isn't exactly right, but that is very, very similar to the symbol that you see in loads of Temple of Mithra, where they always seem to have a guy like sacrificing quite often a horse by like slitting its throat, and I kind of
Right.
think that statue is pretty close. So
Yeah.
I've used that in a couple of places.
I like the light you've used.
Yeah, happy with
They're,
that.
they're just what are they? They're just little floodlights, firehouse floodlights. They can offer
Yeah. I think they're from the Ghostbusters pack. Quite useful.
giving off a
Right,
tiny
so there
amount
is
of
a
light.
trigger event in this room
Oh,
as
so I
this
get through.
boat is about to come through. It should
Ah,
start.
look at that.
There you go.
That's cool. So this is like an offering area.
Exactly. Yeah, I wanted it to be like a sort of altar, and yeah, scary.
It's so good.
And I figure just as they go around the sort of horseshoe bend, they get that view like down the aisle straight at the altar, and yeah, happy with it.
I love the fact that it's kind of caving in, and you've got like broken pillars everywhere, as if this would have been held up
Yeah.
a long time ago, and the whole thing's just
Yeah.
falling to pieces. I love it. So good.
Yeah, forces of nature taking it back.
We've got a big vista here, haven't we? Oh, look at that. That's stunning.
I didn't need to do much there. You did all the hard yards for me, mate. You made a really, really nice cliffside. So
And I think it's beautiful. It's really, really good. Oh, look, you've got
Yeah,
another little scene here.
exactly, yeah. What's be kind of similar? I mean, like, look, that's technically a statue of Poseidon, but again, it kind of looks like a sacrifice scene. So
But yeah, no, this is phenomenal, mate. This is a really, really pretty little build here. And
it is, yeah. Oh, mate, look at this again. Look at what you've done with that view. So good.
It's quite good, isn't it? Yeah, the falls are kind of like they are a bit of a pride of Bella Buono, of this area. So it's nice that you've utilised it a bit, because obviously we've kept it very quiet, as far away from the rest of the park as we can. But I love the fact that the rapids come out and look out over there, and you can see the falls as you come out, and obviously that big hyper coaster in the background. That's a stunning view.
Oh, I mean, Brett did so well with that. It looks so nice. You get the best views of it from here. You just see it rolling over every airtime hill. Really nice.
Nice. And you made what? This is kind of like almost a landslide, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember. I think someone actually gave me the idea to do do a landslide. That I didn't know how to do that cliffside because I just couldn't see how I could do any actual Roman theming on that. So I think someone came up with the idea of just why don't you just like pepper it with rocks and stuff and just have it look a bit a bit perilous, you know.
Again, like
So
it's
yeah, I think
falling
that came out right.
apart, and it leads in with the rest of the ride because obviously the rest of the ride you got all these ruined areas where nature's taking it back. Unlike the rest of your build where it's all pristine. I mean, the rest of the outside bit, all of those buildings are completely intact. There's nothing falling to pieces at all. This is like nature's taking back over. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought it drew quite a nice line between sort of civilization and chaos, you know.
Yeah. And this is
Back to, yeah.
What'd you say?
Back to civilization here again. Back to good old Roman buildings again.
But this is lovely, this building. Why did you? Because obviously you can't see this from anywhere else in your build.
No,
This is
no,
just
it's
for the rapid goers.
exactly. It's a little sort of private sanctuary. I don't know. I thought this would be quite nice. I like the idea of like breaking. You know, you're down in the sort of dark caves and all that, but you break out into sort of sunlight and this kind of serene setting. And I thought actually a nice little hillside sanctuary with like a miniature temple would be quite nice. And it worked out really nicely that you get a really good view of Bread's like B&M invert right in the background. If you're looking like from the there you go, look at that.
It's sick. So good.
Really, really nice.
Just as you're moseying on down the river. Oh, we got some water effects going on here.
Yeah. What do you mean the splashes when they get down the
Yeah,
hills?
they triggered.
Yeah, yeah. Every hill has triggered splash effects. I think there's 3 or maybe 4 drops in the whole ride.
Yeah, I asked for 2, didn't I? To
Yeah.
be honest, when I put it out there, I was hoping that viewers would pick the log flume. When they picked the rapids, I was like, okay. But because I love a log flume. I always find rapids
fair enough.
a bit of an anticlimax every time I go on them. But you've done a great job with this. This is beautiful. So when I was saying, 3 drops, I was thinking, I'd love some big log flume drops. And it's hard to do a drop on the rapids.
It is, yeah. I had to force a couple of them really, but yeah, I think it flows all right. Oh, that wasn't an intentional pun. Never mind.
What's going on down here? There's a rainbow.
There is.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Through the waterfall.
I just thought waterfall. That's what they do, isn't it? They sometimes give off those little rainbows. So that was a last-minute idea. It's not really meant to be thematic or anything. I thought it just looks nice.
It does. What have you used? Like 10 different lights?
Yeah, it's animated lights, but they're just stationary.
I love the fact. So you've got lots of triggers going on with this ride, then, for those
Quite a
splashes.
few, yeah. Well, the thing is, you got to keep these rides interesting. I'm the same as you. Like in real life, these rapid rides like Rumba Rapids at Thor, but I mean they're okay. But the fact is, it's a big investment to properly theme them, so a lot of them aren't. Whereas I thought with this one, well,
Yeah.
limited budget, I'll theme it to the nines.
And we're back round to the start. Wow. So what a fantastic ride that is.
Happy with it, and it's value. You know, you get 10 minutes of ride action. You know, for one ride. So I think the guests get quite a good value ride.
I want to go out now of the cave and have a look at night, I think.
Nice.
I'm going to go up first. And just have a look from above. Because the lights here are really quite beautiful. Look at that.
Whoosh.
What an incredible build, mate. And
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. Thank you for the challenge.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. This is incredible. And look at the lights on that temple.
Yeah, that's my favourite bit of night lighting in the park.
That's phenomenal. It's kind of ruined by the crane at the moment in the background, but that'll go soon. Look at that.
I'll be helped.
I love it, mate.
Woo!
It's wicked. No, thank you so much, mate. Let me put it back to daylight, and we'll just zoom out and have a look at this park so far. Then, but yeah, look at this park coming on now. It is absolutely phenomenal, and your build on its own is just stunning. But put into this area, I'm really this would be a theme park I would definitely want to visit. It's wonderful. Thank you so much, mate.
Nice, mate.
Thank you so much for agreeing to build. Thank you for putting your heart and soul into it, streaming it for us all so we could watch it, and just being your general amazing self. This is incredible. Thank you.
No, seriously, I'm like, just before I do jump off, no, seriously, thank you for the challenge, mate. But I genuinely think this has been one of our best community events ever. It's been so good. I think the parameters of it are absolutely spot on.
Well, thank you.
And I think it's led so many different people to take different angles and express themselves. And
Brilliant. Well, I have gone ahead and added you. I haven't shown anybody this yet. I've added you onto our little wall. I don't know if you saw it when you were building, or I don't know if it was actually in place. But up here in our little church, I've added you to our wall.
Beautiful.
There we go.
Oh, look at this.
Hold on. No.
This is very sneaky. I used to do stuff like this in the really early Good Nice days, little clandestine caves with names on the wall. I love it.
Look at that. So there you go. You've taken your place. Thank you again, mate. And well, I'm sure I'll see you around tomorrow at some point. Peace out. Thank you.
I'm sure you will. Bye 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 bye
bye bye bye bye. We're going to talk now about our next area. Let me give you a video, and then I will bring in our next guy.
Thanks to the efforts of our previous builders, we have managed to secure a new piece of land to the east of Rome. We are looking for the next builder to again theme and place 5 rides, including 2 new roller coasters, and develop a new land. It is now time to look more in depth at the area and make some decisions over the new attractions. Again, we would like to hear the opinion of the public as to what they want. Over to you, Winda TV!
Hello. So welcome back. Nice little spotlight there of Cocker's beautiful build, and now I suppose it's time to formally introduce our next builder. But yes, our new builder, our next builder, the phenomenal, the incredible, very good friend of mine, Jarrow Zero. So there you go. 5 rides, 3 flats, 1 coaster, 1 track. Dark rides are your fave. How does that sound, Jazza? How you feeling? Tense? Panicky? He's gone very quiet. I told him he wasn't allowed to speak. I'm slightly worried about the coaster, actually, but I'll give it my best. 8, well, do your best. If you can't get 8 to airtime counts, don't worry, but 90 seconds, so decent length. And as I said, you can sprawl all out across this mountain. Alright? You might even want to you can do a little bit of a bit of an out and back here, as long as you don't go into Cocker's area too much. All right, Jazza, 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 Jazza. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. 2 weeks, starting from when you get the part, mate. But yeah, there you go, Jazza. Right, I do, guys, have one more video for you, because there was something that was unleashed upon us unknowingly last night. The German has decided to issue a little challenge of his own.
With the success of my new resort, I have invested in new land for development. We need more housing, and I am now looking at developers to build cheap and attractive high-rise flats to sell for the big money to the public. I will be closely monitoring all the building in the area and look forward to great results.
So, once more we're back. We have ways of keeping you housed. So, this is the German's little thing that he's got. I mean, to be fair, as I said last night, this makes a lot of sense. If we can get housing in for all the people working at Winterland, for people working at the hotel and the resort, maybe we can start getting some of these lot to move out. Because I think this would be a lovely area to theme. Just saying. But yeah, we need some more housing, because this Bella Buono and Lake Windermere are really becoming quite a destination. Okay. I've been Winder. This has been Winder TV. I'll catch you on the flip.